Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV. We're here at 9th Cloud Expo, Silicon Valley. I have Kevin Lancaster with me, which means Winvale are joining us. This is a company you need to hear about. Very, very active on your Twitter accounts and all over the place in the run-up to Cloud Expo. So let's hit the world with it, Kevin. What is Winvale doing right now?
Yeah, we're a bit of an anomaly here at the event. Our focus is purely the public sector, so the federal government in particular. So we're here looking for best-in-class solutions to be able to deliver to our government customers ROI on their projects. Right now the government's got a pretty significant mandate to push everything out to the cloud.
I was going to say, why is that an anomaly? Cloud first.
Well, most of the exhibitors here are vendors and they have products, what have you. But so we're doing some tech scouting, if you will, for the federal government.
I like that, tech scouting. So if you need to be tech scouted, talk to you guys. But you do have this high profile, so tell us a bit about how that works, how the cloud first has kind of galvanized technology from the Washington end.
Yeah, it's something that the government, it's taken a while to really embrace, adopt. They're a little bit behind the commercial early adopters. But I think everyone in this environment, the economic environment, are realizing the cost savings that you can achieve. Particularly if you look at like DHS right now, where they have a mandate to spend about $20 billion on cloud technologies by the middle of this next year, 2012. But the net result is they'll save about $2.4 billion in CapEx, where these are things that are resonating very well inside of Washington, D.C. and outside. So it's taken a while for them to really kind of adopt the cloud. Obviously, government has a lot of sensitivities around security and encryption and what have you. And so it's finally at a point now where I think the technology, the encryption, security is all converging all at the same time. And it's very ripe, for these solution providers here at this expo to get into the government marketplace and actually, save our economy in a sense, And
I mean, just in case someone watching this doesn't know the history, we're talking about, the federal cloud computing initiative, Vivek Kundra, before he moved to other things. I mean, that's where it dates from. As you say, it's like almost taken a year since then for it to kick in.
Yeah, probably a little bit closer to about 2 years, He was, in the beginning, when Vivek was out there, championing this effort, a lot of people looked at him, it's like, you're crazy. The government's not going to migrate their infrastructure, their sensitive and non-sensitive applications out to the cloud. And really, we owe him a debt of gratitude because he was the pioneer from the federal perspective to say, look, it's, the encryption, the security, all that stuff's catching up, and you can really achieve significant cost savings by, looking at these types of solutions. So you got to give him all the credit for really being the pioneer. He has obviously since moved on. His predecessor has picked up the ball and is really pioneering, or taking kind of version 2.0. And again, I think 2012 is going to be a big, big year for cloud. I mean, you've got infrastructure as a services BPAs. You got another $2.5 billion email as a service BPA that was just put out by GSA. So they're now finally solidifying, I think, their direction, and they're jumping on board. So I think as taxpayers, as just prudent business owners, we see the benefits of the cloud, and I think a lot of the exhibitors here hadn't really thought about the government aspects at this expo, and I think we've kind of brought a pretty unique disposition to this, and so I think it's going to be a really productive event for us. We're happy to be here with some of our partners like Ping Identity, Navisite, so got a lot of great existing partners, and looking at the quality of the attendees, I'm feeling pretty good about where this is going. So,
is there any possibility that a company who wants to play in the federal space, doesn't know you're here, should we be reaching out to them and saying, guys, if you feel isolated on the West Coast, talk to Winvale?
Absolutely. And I think that's part of our strategy going forward, is having more of a presence in the Valley. I think we had somebody come up and said Winvale and Sunnyvale, so I think that's probably next for us, right? So I think we've got plans for expansion out here, and really I think the best way to look at us is the extension. You've got this, there's this old cliche about it's just Washington D.C. and it's hard to break into D.C. or bring D.C. outside of the Beltway, and quite honestly, I mean, government has to be here. Companies like us have to be at these types of events. We have to be in the Valley looking at the next best thing because, again, it's the ROI and just all the positive impacts, this event can have on government technology is staggering. So, we'll work with companies to help identify their federal roadmap. We'll integrate their technologies as they make sense, so we can engage in a variety of different capacities. And so, part of it is here is just giving back and trying to, bring that kind of that old school mentality is that, again, you have to be inside of D.C. to affect change or even to sell to the government. And I think that's a huge fallacy, and I think that barrier is being broken down, particularly with the cloud initiatives.
What would you, if one was engaged with you, would you expect a company to work with you and then perhaps, I don't know, outgrow is the wrong word, but do they want to do it themselves, go it alone eventually? Is that an okay way of looking at this?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, we take companies and we'll help develop their federal presence. We'll help cultivate some opportunities. We'll team in with a lot of the large LSIs, the systems integrators that we work with. The real brief history of Winvale is that we have close to 1,000 companies that we've built their federal program. And so that allows us to go back to 1,000 integrators, 1,000 small businesses, large primes that might have a specific contract with the USDA, GSA, what have you. So, at some point with some of our partners, we do stop at a certain point in transition.
Bow out.
Yeah, we have some other partners where we actually serve as a master distributor, and we've got 25, 30 companies that are, bringing their solutions underneath of our contract vehicles. So, we are a very unique organization where we can consult, help them build their own practice. They can team with us. We can build distribution underneath of us. So, we just have to kind of size up the technology, the type of organization. It could be a services provider, and really put together a solution that makes sense for them. And sometimes, for us, that means bowing out, and sometimes that's a hard thing to do, but at the end of the day, it might be the best thing for the manufacturer or the services provider for us to do that. So
that's very magnanimous, but I'm sure very realistic. So bear that in mind. People can go to winvale.com, presumably, and start some kind of reaching out to you so you can reach back.
Absolutely. Winvale.com. We have a couple feeder websites, if you will, to make it really easy for companies to find us. One's GSAschedule.com, another huge contract vehicle. So another one's governmentcontract.com. So we do get a lot of inbound inquiries, so we use those domains really to bring these solutions back into the public sector. So Winvale.com, GSAschedule.com. You can find us all over Twitter, Facebook. We're accessible, so
and you're high energy. So we look forward to seeing how much you can help galvanize as a result of this. I'm sure we'll see you at other cloud expos, but the West Coast angle is interesting. So we'll compare it in a year's time here, hopefully.
Absolutely. We'll be out. I think upcoming in June. I think it's going to be at the Javits Center. We'll absolutely be there as well. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump up 95 for us. Not a 6-hour flight, but now again, every time we come out here, we find 150 reasons why we should be out here more on a permanent basis, and I think that's upcoming for us. So
Cloud Expo's planted yet another seed. Thanks so much, Kevin Lancaster, for joining us here in Silicon Valley, and thank you for watching this out there on the World Wide Web.